Additionally, sir, today a news item has appeared in a newspaper, and that is where we wanted the response of the government, if the response is forthcoming today, that not only are the files missing, but the concerned investigating officer, one Shri K.R. Chaurasia, who is the senior superintendent of police in the CBI, has sought for the examination of the Prime Minister on the ground that between the period 2006 and 2009, he was then the coal minister, and therefore the decisions were taken by the coal minister, and these decisions require an oral examination of the Prime Minister. The news item further mentions that a decision has been taken within the investigative agency for the present not to allow that investigation to take place, or that examination to take place. We are now faced with a situation where, one, the CBI says, I want the files. Two, the Attorney General has written a letter to the government saying that the Supreme Court expects you to produce the files within 2 weeks. He has given in the letter the list of the files, and that list has been widely published in newspapers, which are missing. Three, files are the principal evidence, the documentary evidence, which will indicate whether there was a criteria for allotment or only favorites of the government were picked up and allocated coal blocks. If files are missing and documentary evidence is not available, then the only other evidence is oral evidence. And oral evidence is the person who finally took the decision has to be examined. On what basis were these coal blocks allocated? The documentary evidence is being destroyed, not available. The oral examination is not being permitted. And the oral examination of the person who took the eventual decision. So no documentary evidence, no oral evidence allowed. And therefore the entire attempt is that this case must then result in some form of a dead end. Yesterday we were faced with a situation where the Honorable Prime Minister made it appear as though the disappearance of these files is not a reality but something hypothetical. He used a phrase, the so-called missing files. Now the files missing are a reality. And therefore, how does this investigation proceed further? We would have preferred it if the Honorable Prime Minister had taken a few queries from the members. But the Prime Minister apparently was in a hurry. He also had to leave for G20 summit today.
No, I am told he was to go to Lok Sabha. I am told he was to go to Lok Sabha.
That's 2 o'clock. But somebody has to respond as to how this investigation is going to proceed further, where files have been destroyed, or files are not available, so the documentary evidence is missing, and the oral evidence will not be allowed. The oral examination is not going to be allowed. And the oral examination is of the most relevant witness, which is the person who took the decisions. Now, we'd like the government, therefore, to respond to us as to how this matter is going to proceed further. Otherwise, we'll again end up in a dead end where this investigation yields nothing and only the country turns out to be a loser to the extent of 1,86,000 crores.